Welcome to Tech Brothers with Damer. In this video, we are going to learn how to load flat files to SQL Server Tables according to the name of flat files in SSIS package. So let me show you the files I have. Here in the source folder, I have three files. One is 2016 underscore TechBrothersIT. So you see here, the other one is TechBrothersIT, then hyphen and date part is added to it. And then we have customer underscore date part added to it. So you see that these are different files, but they have table name in them. You can start with any number. Maybe date part is at the starting of the file name, or maybe at the end of the file name. Maybe you have only the date, maybe you have date and time. So it doesn't matter as long as your table name is right here, and that does not contain any numerical character, such as, let's say, if you will say TechBrothersIT1, that's your table name. That's not going to work because one will be removed. As I'm considering, the table name is always going to be alphabetic characters, so such as A to Z. That's all I'm considering. So if your scenario change a little bit, that's fine. You might come back and make a small change in the code and it will work for you. But as long as your table name is part of the file, rest of that time or date is added to it with underscore or hyphen, or even with no underscore or no hyphen, we are fine. We will extract that part of the table name and then load the file. So here in TechBrothersIT, I have ID and course title. These are the two columns I have. Next, in the customer, I have ID and name. So depending on the definition of these files, I already have created the tables. So you create table DBA customer ID name, and then we have create table DBA TechBrothers info. And see here, when I was creating this table, I created as TechBrothers info. So now my files doesn't contain that name. So this is one of the things, like, okay, you should have TechBrothersIT. That should be the table you should create instead of TechBrothers info. If your file has TechBrothers info as a name part, then you go ahead and create a TechBrothers info or whatever the name you have. But here in our case, we have customer and TechBrothersIT. Those are the two things we have. And if we select the data, we don't see any records as of now. We need to create our SSIS package. Open SSDT, SQL Server Data Tools, click on SSIS Packages, new SSIS package, load files according to name. As the files are sitting in one of the folders called the source, we need to create a variable, because variables give us freedom to deploy our packages in different environments without making changes to actual packages. We can use the configuration and change the value of those variables in different environments. So that's really make our package dynamic. I'm going to create a variable called the source folder. So think about in production QA UAT, your source folder path is not going to be this. So that's the one reason you create a variable, create a configuration, and once you create the configuration, then what you do, you will just change the configuration value in each of the environment, but still the same package will work for you. Next, as we would like to move the file once they are processed, we will be moving them to the archive folder. So let's go back there. I have archive folder already sitting here. In your case, maybe different path, so it doesn't matter. Just copy the path what you have and just delete these old files. Come back here, log folder, because we are going to use the script task. If the script task fail, we would like to put the information in log file. So I have a log file as well, a log folder as well. I'm going to copy this, just instead of archive, it is going to be log. It is in the same videos folder. Now, as you see that we have the files that they are comma delimited. So tomorrow, if your requirement does change a little bit, say, okay, now we will get pipe delimited files. So what you will do, you have to come back and make the change to the package. I don't like that part. I will suggest creating a variable called file delimiter. By doing it, you will just change the configuration value and your package will start working according to the comma or pipe, whatever the file type is coming in. So that's one thing. Also, file extension. And that right now we have .txt, but think about that, tomorrow maybe you will get .csv files, and that's what you want to use this package. So you don't have to make changes to the package, you will just make the change to the configuration value for this variable, that's all. And next, think about a scenario where you are loading these tables maybe to the DBA schema. Tomorrow you will say, no, we are going to create staging schema, and then we'll be loading these tables to the staging schema tables. So in that case, you need another variable. I will call this one schema name, because that can be changed. So in our case it's DBA, but later it can be staging or whatever you like, it can be. So right click here in the connection managers and then create new ADO.NET connection. Delete that, hit new, and we have to provide SQL Server instance name. Go to your SQL Server and type select server name, get the value and paste it there. If you will click on the drop down, it will bring the instance name. It takes some time. So select the database here, TechBrothersIT, test connection, hit OK and hit OK. Now let's rename this one. Amir PC is not the right name. Maybe you are developing this package on, actually you will be developing this package on your machine. So in this case, maybe it will be your name and PC name and all that. And we don't want to use this in the configuration. There should be some proper name. Let's call this one DB_connection and then TechBrothersIT. So this is the database name part where we would like to load these files. We are all set with the initial variable creating and connection manager. Now we will bring the script task. Open the script task and then we'll add these all user variables what we have created. Let's select them. Now here, hit OK. Now you will be clicking on edit script. I'm using C# for the script now. Let's go to techbrothersit.com. That's the website where I have posted the scripts already. So we will copy and paste. But once the video will be uploaded, I will put the link of this post in the description of the video. So you don't have to come here in the TechBrothersIT. It will take you to the page directly. So you will be going to the all the way here. We have a script task under the SSIS video tutorial, and then we have a dynamic text CSV files with the script task. Here we have number 5, how to load flat file to SQL Server table according to the name of the flat files. So if you are interested here, you can just copy. If you are interested here, you can read the post. Actually, you don't have to watch the video, your choice. But if you just want to read it through, you can read all the information is there step by step. I have put the snapshots, so you can take from there. And if you are interested to watch the video, go ahead and keep watching. So first of all, we need to copy these namespaces. Come back to the editor and the namespaces. Here we are going to paste, and it is called using system.io. As we are reading the files, we will be using some different functions or methods and some instances from system.io namespace. As we are loading the data to the SQL Server, we will be using this namespace. Now let's go to the public void main function and delete this part, as we have written this part in our script. Come back to the post, and here we will copy the entire code. Copy, go back, and then we have to paste it. Save and build. So the build is succeeded, as you can see on the left bottom screen part here, and it is successful. That's great. We have to take further look into the variable names, because when it is building the script or saving it, it's not making sure the variable names what we have used in SSIS are exactly the same. So if you have, let's say, variable here, in SSIS archive folder, and inside the script task you have archive folder 1, and you will save it and build it. It's not going to throw you error. It will say build succeeded. So this validation is not done, so you have to kind of make sure by yourself. So let's start from here. So first of all, we are saying string date time. So we are declaring a variable and same in the year, month, date, hour, minute, and seconds. So we can use this date time when we create the error log file. Then we have our try block, and here I declare some variables: source folder, file extension, file delimiter, archive folder, and schema name. And then I use the SSIS variables to save the values in these variables, because I don't want to use this entire .dts variables and everything all around my code. So that's why I created these variables here, save the values of SSIS variables to them. So I can use them wherever I need these variables. Let's take a look. We have source folder, we have file extension, we have file delimiter, we have archive folder, and schema name. This looks right. In case we have error, we will see in the error log. Then we have SQL connection, and which then we will be using the SQL connection DB connection. We don't have DB connection. We created DB underscore connection underscore TechBrothersIT. That's our connection manager name. In your case, you will have different name, whatever the connection manager you have created in your SSIS package. That's the name of a connection manager you will be using in a script task. In my case, it was a DB underscore connection underscore TechBrothersIT. Now, what we are doing here, reading files names one by one. So here I got all those files according to the extension. See, I'm saying asterisk, so get everything from the source directory, and that asterisk dot extension. That means I don't care about the name, but the extension should be the same what I'm asking. Let's say if my folder has some other files, let's put some other files, Excel file. So this file should not be read, as I have put the .txt in the variable value. I have defined here file extension .txt. So it is going to read only .text files. If you have a .csv file sitting there or any other type, it will not read, as long as you want them to read, and you have to come to the file extension variable and say, okay, .csv file, that's what I want to read. The value again you will be providing through the configuration. You will not make a change in the package every time in production. Let's go back and take a look. Now once we read all the files, then we are going to loop through each file name and then start loading. Here I'm saying the string table name, so I declare a variable table name of string type, and then by using regex I'm removing the number part. So numeric numbers from the file name, let's such as see 2016 or underscore or hyphen and all those kind of things, I'm removing it, and I'm only taking anything that is A to Z. So that's all I need to do. So my table name, if it is a alpha characters, I will just grab that information and put as a table name. So that's correct. By using these two lines, I will get the table name from the file name. Once I have that, I declare a variable integer counter and string line and string column list. Now we will use these variables further here. We start reading this file. We said, okay, create a new instance of a source called source file, and it should use the file name. So you see that the file name is coming from for each loop. So it has complete path, and so instance will be created. Once the instance will be created, we will be able to read the file. We are saying we are using while loop and saying line equal to source file dot read line not equal to null. So it will keep looping until we are not done with the entire file. We read each line. So once anything like is not equal to null, that means if there is any value on any row, it will keep reading. So we will say if counter is equal to 0, that means remember we have declare a variable and put the value 0. That means this is the first time it is coming here, and it means this is the header row. So we say column list and get that values from that line, so header row, and just create the insert statement. So we will be using this one column list here in the insert statement. Now we are saying else, so when next time it is going to come, what we will do, we will create insert statement, because now we will have the data. So first time we will be reading the header and building a column list, and this as from the header row, and then the next we will be inserting the row. So here we say build my query and insert into schema name, as we have defined already. This is coming from our variables. Table name, and this one we extracted from the file name, and the last is the column list that we just built for the file. And then we are saying values, line dot replace delimiter is a comma, and then put colons around. So whatever the file delimiter you have, maybe you have a comma, pipe, and all that, replace with these single quotes and comma. So build like an insert statement, what we do in the SQL Server. So let me go back and say, if we need to insert a value here, what I do, I say insert into DBO dot customer, and we have a ID, comma name, and we say values and 1, and then we say Amir. This is how we do. So this comma and colon, single quotes, this is what we are putting around. So that part is done. So our insert query will be prepared, and then we will run the insert query and insert the record. The counter will keep increasing, and then once it's done, there would be no more records. Then will it come outside of this loop, while loop. Now we will close the file. Then we will move this file to the archive folder. You see that we have file name. That's the source path or incomplete path for the file that is in this source folder, and then we have to provide archive folder / then provide the name. So here the file name does contain folder with it, extension with it. So what I did, I removed source folder path, so then it will be just the file name. Then I removed the extension, and I added date, time to it, and the file extension back. So this is how I kind of build this string, remove the folder path from the file name, and just have one file name, then add the date time and add the extension, and then finally if it is success, we are good. In case of error, we will be using catch block. Now it is going to use the log folder path, and then create a file called error log and underscore date time and .log. So it will create a file. Let's stop it now. Let's go back, save the script, and run our. Let me take this file here, just in case I'm going to make a copy, put in the main folder. And now if we'll go to source folder, we have 4 files. 3 should be loaded, and 1 should be just sitting there because we are not caring about .xls. Stop the package, go to the table, and now we can query our tables. So customer table, and we see that the records are loaded to the customer table from the customer file, and the records are loaded from the TechBrothersIT files. There was 2 files, so records are loaded from them as well. Now if you go back and you try to find in the source folder, those files are not there in the source folder. They are moved to the archive folder. Let's go to archive, and you can see that we took the files, added a date time to it, so we would know that what time they were loaded or they were archived. So this date part of what we have done, this is what we added. Now this is good. Let's go back. Remember I copied one of the file. Let's say if I will go back and take TechBrothers, copy, go to source, paste it here, and instead of saying .txt, let's say this is .csv file. Yes, change the extension. Now we come back. Let me truncate the table. So I want to show you the package can handle actually different type of scenarios. Let's execute. We don't have any data, and now we have to come back to the package and change the .txt to .csv. Again, you will not be coming to the package. I mean, it's right now we are testing, yes, but when you are done with the deployment, everything, you will change the value of these variables by using a configuration. So that's the thing you will be doing. You will not be making changes to the package and the redeploying. That's why we created all these variables, so we can make our package more dynamic. Let's run this package again. Okay, completed successfully. Stop it and go back and take a look. Here you see that now the data is loaded up from the CSV file. So again, let's go back and say, now come back here, and now we'll see, let's say customer. I'm going to copy customer in the source, paste, and think about that. This file is not comma delimited anymore. This is pipe delimited. So in that case, will our package load this file or not? So copy, save it. Now we go to the archive. Let's remove everything from archive. Delete. Go back to the package, and here instead of a comma, we'll be saying the pipe also extension is .txt. Copy. Sorry, save it and start. Now if we will go to the customer table, remember last time it was loaded, we had 3 records. Now it should have 6 records. So you see that 6 records are there. And if we want to truncate and reload, we can do that, just to make sure everything works fine. Okay, so now customer table doesn't have anything. We go back, and in the archive, that's where it moved. We can copy from there and then go to the source folder, again paste it there. You see that this file is not read at all, because we are reading whatever the extension we want to read. We have to tell to our package, and it does read only those files. In our case, we have told our package only read .txt files, so it is only reading .txt files. Even the folder can contain many files and different types. So let's open this one. See, we have a pipe delimited. If I rerun the package now, it should read the customer file and load into the customer table successfully. So let's go and take a look here. Yep. So this is how you will be loading the files according to the name in your SQL Server tables. So again, there could be scenarios where you might have some number as a part of your table name. You can ask your work with the business, work with the DBAs, work with other people, and say, okay, why we have the numbers as a table name? Maybe we would like to just remove that. Or other way around, you will say, okay, I will make change to my package or my script where it should not care before underscore or after underscore. There should be something in the file name. You can say, okay, read from here to here, that's my table name. And I have created a lot of scenarios even where you don't have to worry if you want to load all those files as it is. I have created a video that tells you like read every file and create a new table and load to that table. You can do that as well. Once you load in the SQL Server, from there you can extract the required columns and all those kind of things and load to your final tables. So thanks very much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in next video.